Hello, drivers. Welcome to today's edition of the podcast. I'm your host, Gideon-Faj. And in Drivers Podcast, what we do is we discuss, issues pertaining to your mindset and how to live fully, to live your potential fully. Today, we'll be tackling something very, very important on the victim mindset. And then I have with me a reputable guest and a friend of mine, Blessing Emmanuel, and we'll be tackling this issue together. So just sit tight and enjoy yourself. Good day, Mrs. Emmanuel.
Good day, Mr. Faj.
I'm so happy to have you in this podcast today.
Happy to be here.
Okay, thank you. So just before we just go into the discussion, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, you already made the introduction. So my name is Mrs. Blessing Emmanuel. A writer. I always like starting with that because it's one of the core of
who you
my
are, okay?
person. So I'm a writer, biomedical engineer, a communications specialist, and by the grace of God, I'm happily married to a very wonderful man of God. So yeah.
Glory to God. Okay, so let's just start with the basics.
Okay.
When we say victim mindset, what comes to mind?
Victim mindset. Okay, to me, I feel like it's a mental state where people choose not to take responsibility for things that actually happen to them.
Okay.
They always see life as happening to them, not for them, right? Like circumstances always happening to them and they cannot do anything about it. So rather than trying to find ways out of it, a victim mindset will always stay stuck in the same, oh, this is happening to me, this is happening to me. Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of people might not realize that they're actually in that space.
No.
Because most times we often find ourselves in that defensive mode. No, it's like most in defensive mode, like, like everything's just happening to me. You want people to sympathize with you,
yes.
want you to feel bad for you. So because of that, you just find yourself in this loophole of it's happening to me, as I've said, and not for me. Okay. So, what are the signs and behaviors that you can, if you want to self-evaluate yourself, because I believe in self-evaluation.
Yeah.
And most times I also believe in also asking people, but what are those signs you can watch out for to know if you have that victim mindset or not? Okay,
I think one of the key things is people blaming. A person with a victim mentality or a victim mindset will always blame people for their situation. It is not my fault. It is their fault. It's because of this person or because of that thing. If this didn't happen, it's not happened to me like this. There's that first thing of not wanting to take responsibility for whatever it is that's happening around them. Forgetting that whatever happens, usually we have our roles to play. So we may not have the power to control what's happening, right? But we have the power to control how we respond. So one of the signs is people blaming for me. When you see someone that always blames other people, yeah, that's a sign. Another key sign is not wanting to take responsibility. Like, it is not my fault. It is their fault. Life is unfair. It happened to me. Not seeing a part or a role that you must have probably played for that to have happened to you. So not wanting to take responsibility. Victim mindsets, they never take accountability for whatever happens. So another sign would be wanting sympathy.
Always.
That's at least now, can't you at least sympathize with me? And when they find someone that doesn't sympathize with them, they feel offended. Like, that's offensive. Like, you don't even see, you cannot even relate to what is going on with me and all of that. So I think those are key signs that I've noticed over a period of time that is kind of repeated in people.
Yeah. That's actually very true. I think one of those things is this also, that most times people in victim mindset, they believe that it's always about them.
About them, yes.
But in feeling that it's about them, they still don't take responsibility about it. It's like, it's about me now. Can't you see that I'm going through a lot? My brother and sister, everybody's going through a lot.
Everybody's going through a lot.
Just man up and then, take your life seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Because take your life serious. That's just what I say on that. And as I've said, people blaming,
Not
not
taking
taking
accountability.
responsibility.
Yes.
And those are very terrible things.
Terrible.
When you see some people that blame people a lot for their life, is because of this person did this person did this, they don't achieve anything in their
Oh
life.
no. People
They
like that
don't achieve
always stay
anything.
stuck.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't even know that their lack of growth or advancement is actually what's costing.
And it's on them. Because if you are always blaming people, because I believe that one of the first, if you are stuck, if you are stuck in a particular bit, maybe a habit, or you are stuck in a particular situation, I believe that one of the first things you need to acknowledge is the fact that I'm the one doing this. Because of course there are times, I've said, there are many factors that affect the way you react. It affects
whatever
whatever is happening right now. But the way you react to them is what determines the outcome. Because eventually life happens to everybody.
Of course.
You can't think that you are the only one going through one problem. Because I feel like the reason why people get to, because I've thought about that thing very well. Most times, in fact, there was a day I was just thinking, meditating, and I thought that there's no issue anybody is facing that you're facing right now that nobody has faced before.
That is new.
That's new. And there are people that face that particular situation and they've scaled out of it, and then they are doing well. So what made you special in a negative way that you can't, see a way out of it? And I think like one of those things is victim blaming. Because I just feel like it's not me now. Like, can't you see the economy is bad? Economy is bad, everybody is bad, but in that same economy, people are doing well. In that same economy, people are building, people are thriving. So why should you bother yourself and then just victim blame all your life? So I feel like that's very key.
It brings to mind a statement I saw in a book, right? That if you constantly put the responsibility of your life on other people, that means they'll direct you to where you don't want to go to. Yeah, because if you always say this person is responsible for why I'm like this, so if you keep putting it on people, you won't even know when they're taking you out of your own life plan. So that's what happens to victim mentality people, like people with that mindset. If you keep saying, oh, it's other people, wonderful, they will take you where you're not supposed to go to. Then you will still want to blame them for that. So it's one of the things that I look at it like, if you keep saying that my growth is on somebody else, then you could probably have a stunted growth and you don't even know that you're stunted.
And one particular character that comes to mind, at least in the scriptures, is it Jephthah? I said that I will know. It's not time for him to take my life into my hands, because everybody around him, they don't want to support and all those stuff. So he had to take his life into his hands, and then from there we saw what happened. So just to the next question, what are the dangers of victim blame or victim mindset?
Okay, like I just said previously, stunted growth. You will never grow out of that thing. You will never grow. In fact, someone with a victim mentality or a victim mindset will. That advancement, right? You know, there's a growth mentality and there's a fixed mentality. You're going to be fixed forever. If you don't want to grow, you will never grow out of it, because. And another bad thing about victim mentality is you will start resenting people. Oh, resentment always comes in, because if you see this person is not sympathizing with you, you're like, why? Why won't you sympathize with me?
I'm going through a lot.
I'm going through a lot. I can't, relate what's going on with me. And when you say that, yes, they're moving on, you start resenting them. So resentment kicks in without even you realizing that. And then another thing is, you never see a way
out.
You will never see a way out as long as you keep blaming things, blaming God, blaming whatever that you want to blame. Blame the chair, blame the wall, blame whatever you want to blame. You will never see a way out. Never. Because it's like, if you keep saying, if all you see is a wall, that is all you're only going to get. You will not see that, okay, maybe there's something on top that you could actually climb. You won't even want to climb. Yeah, right? You won't even want to climb. So the danger of that mentality is you can be stuck for a long time without even realizing. You just stunt your growth. Because with that, you don't even want to ask people how to move out of what it is. You won't even look for a solution. So another problem with that is, another thing is, you'll be fixed on the problem and not a solution. Because if you're stuck on that, you will not even try to look for a way to come out of it. You just, all you can see is the problem. That's dangerous. That if all you can see from the situation, a favorite quote of mine is, if you see every problem as a nail, then every solution will be a hammer to you. So because it's a nail, it's only hammer. You don't even know whether you need to pull it out or you need to hammer it this way or nothing. If you see every problem as a nail, every solution to it is a hammer. So And then you get to resent people for no absolute reason, and you don't even see that there can be hope for you.
Yeah.
So
Wow, that's a lot. So you mentioned something, you mentioned God, and Smith you just made this last answer you gave. Do you think that there can be the issue of victim mindset when it comes to
of
man
course
and God?
now, it's very popular among believers.
I thought they said that God knows everything now. In fact, God determines everything.
People always blame God for everything. In fact, that's in this part of the world, right? Especially believers. In fact, non-believers still do that. How can a loving God? Because
Do this,
that's a victim mentality.
actually.
I don't understand. If you eat right or if you do something right, it's. I always tell my husband, like, there's something called cause and effect.
Yeah.
With or without God, it will happen. It's a ripple effect of an action. Whatever you do here, just know that there is a consequence for it. So we can't keep blaming God for things that we are directly responsible
And
for.
just like the scripture was saying in the book of Genesis, that as long as death remains, there are times and there are always plans, times and seasons always exist, like time to sow, time to reap. So it's what you sow, you will reap.
That's exactly what life
And I feel
is.
like most times when it comes to that religious stuff, of course, I'm a religious person. I consider myself a man of God. So, but what I'm trying to say is because I feel like most people, as I've said, this part of the world. If I come from Southwest, where everybody feel like, of course, God owes you, maybe as your father, to guide you, to protect you, but I also feel like you owe it to God to listen to Him. So if God is directing you and you are not listening,
it's on you.
Whatever happens is
on you.
If you don't lean on God, you want to get married, you're not seeking the face of God on, okay, should I get married to this person? You just want to swing it, want to go on vibes. Whatever comes out of it is your choice. You can't blame God. God, now where was God? Where was God when I was when was God?
What we even do is we make the decision and then we go and tell God, okay, this is what I've done. No, so like, we don't ask God for permission. We inform God.
Yeah, God is like your cleaner now, so that God can clean it up
so
after
this is
your
what's
mess
going on in my life. So I found somebody here. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
And God's like, okay, I know already.
And there are many sides to that particular, because I believe that there's a doctrine, even in Christianity, some people call determinist, meaning that whatever is going to happen to you, it was God that made it to be. But I believe that you are not in theology class, but we play a role in everything that happens. Of course, there are times that God's sovereignty, intervenes, but still
we play a role.
There's still a role for you to play. Yeah. Okay, so let me just go personal now, if you don't mind. Has there been any time where you felt like you're about to be crippled by this victim mindset, and then how did you get out of it?
Okay, so personally, there have been times. It comes once in a while. There have been times when I know that I see things not going my way. I'm like so overwhelmed and I'm getting frustrated. Sometimes it's so tempting, honestly, right? It's so tempting to just want to stay there and just feel sorry for yourself. But I see this happening for this person. I see this happening for this person. Why is it not happening to me? Why me? I think there was a time in my life I told God, like, wait, why do you have to give me hard knocks? Because all my life, I'm always going through hard situations, right? But I've come to an understanding that there is a reason.
Yeah.
There is a lesson to be learned. And one thing that gives me peace is God will never lose an opportunity to grow our faith.
Definitely.
So situations happen for us so that our faith can expand, to be stretched. So how I come out of it is I always tell myself, I think one of the things that always helps me is I tell myself the truth.
Yeah, truth is very important.
Very important. I tell myself the truth. I always tell myself, B, you are either going to be stuck here or you find a way out. Choose one. So me, I don't like being stuck in the place for too long. And I don't like the blaming. It won't last. It's so depressing, actually. So I either choose to be stuck or choose to go out. So I choose to move out of that situation.
I think
and trust God.
Everybody can relate to that. And because personally, I think I've found myself there a few times. In fact, many times. And I feel like that the major thing I feel like that helps me get out of it is that truth you mentioned.
Oh yeah.
To be sincere with yourself that, Gideon, you are don't messing this up. The many times, as I said, you are in Nigeria, you have a lot of things to blame. Especially if you are Nigerian, if you are an African, you have a lot of things to blame. And you can say you're blaming the government, blaming the economy. In fact, if maybe there's something you're supposed to record a podcast, you can blame NEPA. There's no light. But somebody gave me an advice some years ago, about 8 years ago then. And the person told me that because around that time I wanted to learn graphic design, I was complaining that I don't have this. Things that start with what you have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of
Start
the
with
best
what you have.
advices I've ever received. Yeah.
Because most times you can't have it all figured out at once. So you have to start with what you have. That time I was starting my graphic design with a laptop. And the laptop, basically, it was an office laptop. It was meant for word processing because I was an admin in the church then. In the church then, it was meant for word processing, meaning that just normal day to day. Yeah,
limited
I
function.
could not install Photoshop on the app. I had to find a way to just install they call it standalone app. I just is a click and run app. And that's how I started. And I've had testimony of people that they had to start with their phone. Meaning that you can't always play the victim mindset and expect your life to become better and expect to grow.
Solution to follow your
I'm
lap.
telling you, it doesn't happen. You have to, go out of your comfort zone. Stop blaming, because I feel like this victim mindset is like a comfort zone for some people.
It is
It feels easy to blame other people for your misfortune.
very easy.
It feels good to blame. It's the one that's causing it now. What about the one? Are you think that there's no
It has nothing to
input
do
you
with
have in the old in the old stuff? But I feel like no matter what anybody is going through, I believe that there's always a way out.
Of course.
There's always a way out. You are going to victim. If you have that victim mindset, you have to deal with it fast. You can't grow with it.
No.
You can't become better with it. All you become is somebody that nags every time. Is it not you? You are doing this. You blame God for everything. You blame your spouse for everything. You blame your siblings for everything. In fact, some people now you blame your parents. Why did they give birth to you in Nigeria? I don't
know that.
Yes.
And it's one thing that is coming to mind now as you're even speaking is one thing we don't even realize is people with that kind of mindsets, they tend to drain the people around them. Oh my God, I've had someone like that. Right? You always think it's I had someone like that in my life that I had to cut off from this sister. She was draining life out of me. I did not even realize on time until every conversation was, this is happening, that is happening. I don't know what to do. Advice, counsel, she would take the position of, okay, fine, I've heard you, I'll adjust. It doesn't work. She's coming again with the same thing. So I have noticed that people with that kind of mentality or mindset, they drain other people around them. They just drain life because the conversation is always centered around something that is really, really depressing or something that, and man, it's crazy that we have people like that, and the only way is, okay, maybe let's allow this person to just find a way to grow without us being around them or something.
Because they
can drag you down. Yes.
Infectious.
Yes.
Just find yourself also. You just blaming things because every time you talk with them, every time you talk with them, they are telling you that this is happening. You say you want to think maybe there's something wrong with my own life.
Honestly,
maybe it's not me. Maybe I'm not the problem.
Honestly,
maybe you are the problem.
Yeah.
But most times I've seen myself in a situation whereby if I have maybe a disagreement with my spouse, most times I always just revert. This thing I'm trying to correct that one. I hope I'm not the problem. In fact, even if she has a play in it, what is my own play in it also? And I've seen that it helps me to solve a lot of problems. It helps me to become a better person in that relationship. Yeah, because what if, okay, I'm saying that, okay, you're not doing this. What if I'm the one that triggered the action in you?
Right?
Do I need to trigger it? So if I feel it will help a lot. And if from all we have said so far, I can hear two things. Stop blaming. Start reframing your mindset with the truth, and then start taking action.
Yes, start taking action.
Okay. So just one advice. If there's anybody right now that is stuck, what's that one advice you can give that person?
Tell yourself the truth. Yeah. Tell yourself. Please tell yourself the truth. Do you want to be where you are for a long time, or you actually want to move out of it? I'm pretty sure that you don't want to stay where you are for too long. So tell yourself the truth. Nobody else will tell you the truth the way you will tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. And then ask yourself, where do I want to be next? Let's even make it quick. In the next 5 minutes, or in the next 1 hour, where do I want to be? Because I don't say the next 1 year or 2 years or 5 years. No, in the next 1 hour, where do I want to be positionally, emotionally? And just make the move. It's not going to be easy, but it's a good place to start.
Okay, beautiful. So, Travis, you have had it all today. You see, life might not always be fair, and that's the truth. Life, no, it's not like I won't say might. Life is not always fair. There's a slang that life no balance. Let me use that one popular balance in Nigeria. Life is not balance. Life no balance. Life will not always be balanced. But it's very important that you know that whatever is happening right now is not happening to you. It's happening for you. Meaning that there's a lesson you can learn from it. There's a growth in you in that particular experience. And that growth cannot happen if you have a victim mindset. If you're always blaming people for your actions, if you're always blaming situations, blaming your spouse, blaming the people, relationships in your life. In fact, if you look at yourself, you find out that most people have they have distanced themselves from you. Because every time you keep blaming them, every time anything happens to you, you keep blaming them. You are the one. In fact, I've been in a situation whereby somebody, I was talking to someone else, someone said that I, in fact, my spouse, in fact, in the earliest part of a relationship, and I was trying to tell her, she was like, she knows that eventually she's the cause, and that thing rang a bell in me. That she always believes. Anytime we have this discussion, she like she's the fault because she has taken, because I'm always one victim blaming. So she knows that no matter what she's going to explain, it's going to be she's going to, so that was like earliest part of a relationship, and then I had to work on myself to become better to get out of it. So drivers, if you are there, work on that victim mindset. It will limit you. It will destroy your relationship. It will mar you. It will destroy you. You'll be stunted for life. It looks like I've been a victim of it. I've been a victim of victim mindset. Imagine. But I'm hoping that anyone listening to this right now will grow out of it and then become a better person. Thank you, Mrs. Blessing Emmanuel.
It's been a pleasure.
It's such a privilege. I'll be looking forward to this.
Thank you for having me.
Next time I get to invite you, probably virtually, you read my call.
I'll be happy to oblige.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.